How to solve global problems and build paradise. Rational realism. Policy 12. Saving nature. I'm teacher Wayne Edward Clarke. This isn't the style of video I'd prefer, but we do the best we can with what we've got. When I was a young man, I thought to myself, there are a lot of really smart people in the world. There must be someone out there who has a real plan to fix the huge problems we're facing, a rational, realistic, practical plan that makes sense to anyone. I searched for people like that, but didn't find any. There were a lot of people trying to improve things on an issue-by-issue basis, but no one with a comprehensive and self-consistent set of solutions. So I started working on it myself, and I've been working on it for 37 years. The result is a system I've called Rational Realism. Policy 12. Saving nature. The crises of climate change, pollution of every kind, habitat destruction, and mass extinction continue to accelerate. We are literally killing everything. We're going to save nature by restoring the environment and maximizing the biosphere. We'll maximize all the natural life forms in Earth's biosphere, their health, diversity, numbers, and total mass, in order to maximize our own health, safety, and resources. Every area of land and every volume of water on Earth will need to be cleaned of pollutants and invasive species and designated as one of three kinds of life zones. The first is nature preserves, where the natural balance and numbers of all native species are maintained as closely as possible and human presence and activity is minimized. The second is ecocultures, where the natural balance and diversity of all native species in a natural ecosystem is restored and maintained, while their numbers, density, and productivity are increased above natural levels by every applicable method, such as selective watering, fertilizing, and placement. Most of the excess produced by our efforts will be harvested for our use, leaving at least natural amounts of every native species. Ecoculture is like farming, except that all the native species in a balanced natural ecosystem are our crops and our livestock. This will allow us to produce billions of tons of bioresources every year while maintaining the natural diversity, balance, and health of the Earth's natural life. The third is Ecodevelopments, or environmentally integrated development. Recognizing that almost all life lives on or near the surface of the Earth will create a much more three-dimensional civilization with most of the surface covered with natural life. We'll no longer have to choose between nature and development. We can leave the surface to natural species while building even more development than we have so far beneath that. Since almost all roads will be indoors or underground, they'll feel like the corridors of a well-designed indoor space rather than the open streets we have today. These images were made with AI tools working from my descriptions. They show what existing cities could look like when retrofitted as eco-developments. They're not that close to what I envisioned, but they do give you a basic idea of the concept. The first 8 images show species native to Illinois in the USA. The last 3 show species native to the Philippines. People will live and work in facilities surfaced with a diverse and mostly natural ecology, ecocultured with mostly native species, but with a greater than natural proportion of native food-producing and product-producing plants and animals, and selected, productive, domesticated species grown organically whose containment can be assured. All roofs and exterior walls, beyond windows, skylights, atriums, greenhouses, vents, solar cells, and windmills, will be covered with native trees and plants. Native animals will roam freely, with the exception of very dangerous animals which will be excluded from human recreational areas by fencing or relocated. All purely decorative outdoor landscaping will use native species. Roads will be underground, indoors, or completely shaded by trees to the greatest extent possible, and most outdoor walkways and paths will be made of elevated grading. Policy 13, Aquatic Environments. Oceans, lakes, and rivers will need to be cleaned of pollutants and invasive species and designated as either nature preserves or ecocultures with ecodevelopments. Oceanic nature preserves will need to be closely monitored by satellites and patrols. Aquatic ecoculture will involve restoring natural species as much as possible, then increasing them above natural levels by carefully selected methods like stirring up bottom sediments, transporting nutrient-rich sediments from river deltas to waters that need fertilization, mixing the water column, selective oxidization, and building aquatic ecodevelopments for the people who will practice and protect the ecoculture. Ocean ecoculture can provide a wonderful lifestyle for those who choose it, and the best way to prevent abuse of the ocean is to have people living there and protecting it. Conventional exploitative hunters and fishermen, those who take without giving, who kill without doing anything to restore what they've taken, are like farmers who harvest without planting. Those practices must be completely eliminated. There will be far more opportunities for hunting and fishing within ecocultural systems than there ever were under the exploitative ones once we've restored the abundance of the biosphere and produced an obvious excess that needs to be harvested. Policy 14, agriculture. Conventional industrial agriculture and ranching should be reduced and eventually eliminated. Outdoor organic agriculture should be reduced and confined to eco-development areas. Greenhouse agriculture and indoor ranching should be maximized. Indoor agriculture is the only way to eliminate the use of poisons such as pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, and herbicides. Policy 15, mining. Mining is necessary, but it requires far more stringent environmental safety rules than exist in most places today. Mining companies have also failed to restore the land to its natural state after their mines are exhausted in almost every case. They must be required to deposit enough money to restore the land from whatever state their operations are in at any given time. When they've made a small hole, they need to have already deposited enough to restore a small hole. When they've created a colossal pit the size of a city, they must already have deposited enough to restore a colossal pit the size of a city. The amounts of these deposits must be determined at least every 2 weeks by independent specialists' estimates of the damage done, with generous estimates of future restoration costs. A separate independent company or government agency will be responsible for using the deposited money to restore the land as soon as a mine is no longer being actively operated. Policy 16, elimination of waste and pollution. We'll have to sort all of our waste, and I've designed an efficient and convenient system for doing so. We'll then reuse, recycle, or store 100% of our unwanted products and materials. We need to ban all waste disposal by littering, dumping, landfilling, venting, or burning. We need to ban the intentional release of all poisons, including insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, and pesticides, and we need to strenuously enforce those bans. Policy 17, freshwater security. We need to ensure healthy water supplies, mainly by 3 methods. We'll collect all the rainwater that falls on our facilities, often after it's watered our plants and filtered down through our soil. We'll reduce, filter, purify, and reuse the water we use, and we'll collect vast amounts of rainwater at the ocean's surface in the rainiest parts of the ocean, most of which are near the equator. It's a lot easier to collect rain before it mixes with the ocean than it is to purify ocean water. Soon, most of the great underground aquifers will be depleted, and many arid places that now depend on well water will become almost uninhabitable when their wells run dry. Non-renewable well water needs to be strenuously conserved. Many areas distant from the sea will need to depend on rainwater, rivers, and lakes for fresh water, so keeping those sources free from pollution will become critical, and those inland areas will require even greater efforts to reduce and reuse water than coastal areas will. In conclusion, everyone who holds a different worldview has the freedom to try to convince everyone else that they're right, as they've been doing for hundreds of years, but I'm claiming my right to say that putting your dedication into any other worldview or religion is a mistake. Systems that contradict rational realism are wrong, There are a lot of people in the world who are rational or realistic or both, but I don't see anyone out there trying to actively promote and grow anything like rational realism in the same way that people who believe in religions and existing political systems are trying to promote and grow their systems. Someone has to do this. This is the crucial time. What happens in the next few years will be pivotal in deciding what happens for the next 1,000 years. The pace of change continues to accelerate, and it can't do that forever. The total power of humanity continues to grow, and we already have the power to either solve every problem or destroy absolutely everything. Sooner or later, one way or the other, there will be a new stability. The only way to convince humanity to try a new way of doing things is to build pilot projects, live in them, run them, and prove the new system works better than any other. The only way to change laws is through democracy and participation in public political systems. Politics may be something most of us really don't want to do, but it's better than the alternatives. We, humanity, can fix the world, eliminate most suffering, and build paradise. We have the power and we have the ability. We only need to dedicate ourselves to doing it. The good guys really can win once and for all. I'm sorry this video has ads, and please like and subscribe. If you support my efforts, I do accept donations through the donation links in the description below. I encourage you to leave your opinion or start a debate with me in the comments. Keep it real, and take care until the next one. Rational Realism.